Hello and welcome to the Patches In podcast. My name is Dom and today we're doing a little Halloween Q&A special. So as you can probably see by the length of this isn't actually too long, but we decided to edit this one a wee bit quicker just so we had something ready for Halloween this year. Since everyone missed it out the last time, we just felt that this might be a good idea just to release this on Halloween, just so you have a little tease of what the new episode's kind of going to be about. We did have Angie join us for this episode. It was a lot of fun having her on. She's very funny. If you want to follow her, she's on Instagram, angistique.graphique, who does a lot of our artwork for our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitch. The new episode will be out later this week, including a lot of conversations with any of the gaming news that we had to talk about. Obviously, we'll have Angie's input on that as well. Now I present to you our quick Q&A that we did for our Halloween special. So that's all the news, guys. Will we jump straight into questions? Are we all good for some questions?
Go on.
Right, so first, so what we asked was any questions for the podcast. Hamish, you pop another one about like what you feel was scary. Was it scary movies?
Like favourite kind of scary games or movies, because spooky podcast.
You go first.
So the first thing, asking a question, a spooky question for the podcast, and how we would all feel about it. Angie, would you like to answer the first one, which would be, what is the scariest game you've ever played? The scariest game.
Scary. Define scary.
Something
that gets your heart racing, or something that you're like, oh.
Well, you can interpret that way you want.
How would you feel was like scary? Something on edge, thriller.
Anything with like Hugh's face on it, like
Super Mario Bros. 2.
He's not that famous. He doesn't have his own franchise yet. I say yet. There's time.
Practice in game.
You know me. I despise a time trial. Anything where I'm against the clock, I'm like, no.
Fuck that, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anything like that.
A
time crisis.
Oh my god, that was good.
I'm trying to think if there was like legit a scary game that really did.
Has there any been like Amnesia or?
I didn't play
How's she
Amnesia.
gonna remember it if she's got amnesia?
What? What are you talking about? What?
Do you have Alzheimer's?
Do you have Alzheimer's?
There was some spooky bits. I think the first game that really scared me but also hooked me was Angel of Darkness by Tomb Raider. Like, that was a big girl game for me. It was my first like 13 plus game. I rented it from Blockbusters 3 times and my mum bought me the game and I was like, I've completed it. I'll play it again. But that was like quite a, in terms of a Tomb Raider game, that was quite a spooky one, because that was like the supernatural element was turned up for that one.
Yeah.
It was really macabre, and
You almost wouldn't expect that from a Tomb Raider game, which is basically just a...
I knew it would be spookier because she had more eyeliner than usual. So I was like, I've seen Evanescence music videos. I know where this is going. Oh, yeah. That was spooky. What was the other question? Was it favourite?
The other question.
Scary movie.
Yeah, favourite scary movies or games.
I like Saw 3. I do like the Saw franchise. I really do.
So why 3 specifically?
3 is just brilliant. Really, really good. Really good. The traps were good. The twist was good. It was before the prequel. It was the last one where you see himself in it. Yep. 2 was shit. 1 was contained. 3 just had a bit more to it. Yeah. That was clever. I liked it. But I do like Saw 3. Yeah. We sat and just watched a lot of the traps on YouTube one night.
And you were quite screaming. I was like, oh right, okay, like but then like the bit with the arm and all that's quite.
Because she won that competition. It was that show Screen Queens, where like the winner gets to be in the Saw movie or just a horror movie. She wins it. And I think that's why, Greenie showed us the trailer for Squid Game, and I was like, I'm in. Anything that's like in a contained space gives you so much limitation that like what you do with that is going to be genius. It's going to be clever. So like the platform, The Circle, horror movies like that, Saw to some extent, Snowpiercer, things like that. I'm like, Squid Game, I'm into this.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Hugh.
Come back to me.
Hamish.
So I mean, games like Resident Evil, it was okay. honestly, I think that a lot of the the most kind of scary moments were the fact that it was really hard to control your character in the first games, like having to turn and all that. So it was like loss of control. But proper scary games like Silent Hill, Silent Hill.
Silent Hill's great.
I remember back in the day, I was like, this is proper like, oh fuck.
When you had the nurses that
Yeah,
were moving towards you, sort of like.
Not even that. Like not even like it's more the kind of setup. Like just I can't see 10 feet in front of me because there's all the fucking fog and all that. You know what I mean? Like jump scares you get in so many games. Not the nurses and that were jump scares, but you're expecting something bad to happen, but it's the anticipation. You know what I mean?
Anticipation.
Patient. Yeah.
You should move that to the end of the podcast.
There was another game, Condemned. You ever played Condemned?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was quite a grown-up
Yeah, that
game.
was a
That was like
Sega-
Manhunt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sega did that, which we were
Psychological
very
shit,
shocked
yeah.
by. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember like my brother and I played that, and then like the disc that we had ended up getting scratched.
Oh no.
So we were like, well, he ended up buying another one, and he was like, oh, I got Condemned again. If you want to play again, I was like, no, I'm good.
It was quite
never
a
touched it
stripped
again.
back, like how you armed yourself was very limited, and that made it scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt kind of you did feel a wee bit kind of helpless in that, like you know, and it was just the whole. They run at you. It wasn't like, you know, I can take my time, I can assess the situation. It was like, if one of these motherfuckers sees you, they
You're
run
fucked.
at you, and you're high kind of tension stuff.
I think helplessness is a huge factor in horror games that I don't think enough people talk about. Like that's why Amnesia is deemed so scary.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anything.
Yeah, you're very limited.
You're very limited. So I
Yeah.
think Condemned's a good one because like you have something, but it's not maybe Resident Evil.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
if you've got a horror game, but you've also got like a shotgun, a machine gun, 2 pistols, and
Yeah.
stuff like that, then you don't really feel like you're in any
Like
danger.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
fine.
I can
deal
defend
with
myself.
shit, you know what I mean? Like whatever comes at me, like. But yeah, like if you've literally just got a lead pipe that's going to break in a couple of hits, then
Yeah.
you need to make sure those hits count and stuff like that. As far as movies, I think I've told this on the podcast before. The only thing that really kind of freaked me out was Hannibal Lecter when I watched Silence of the Lambs, and then and I liked it. Right? I remember, I even after watching Hannibal, which was after that, I asked my mum because I was quite young at the time. I was like, "Can you get me brain? I want to eat brain. I want to eat human brain." Because he eats it at the end of the film, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Airplane
food.
food.
Looks kind of cool, yeah. But before that, when I was young, I was on the Isle of Bute, small island, and I couldn't sleep. And then my dad came in and he was like, "Are you alright? Like, why can't you sleep?" And I was like, "I'm worried about Hannibal Lecter. Is he based on a real person? Like, is that a true story?" And he just went, yeah, it's a true story. And he just moved to this island like this last week. So
That's
he's
so
here.
awful.
Good night. And then he just fucked off. And I'm just like
Awful.
clutching the covers like, oh my god. But see, with most movies, I'm just like, I just always know they're a movie. I find it very hard to kind of suspend disbelief enough to be afraid of a movie kind of thing. Yeah, so
Yeah, I get like the only time I felt quite invested in it was maybe the Paranormal Activity movies, like the first one especially.
Yeah, I love
The
them.
first
They're
one,
really good
the
films,
second
man.
one, they kind of got a wee bit.
I just feel like they came out too late. Like everyone knew about camera tricks and editing and stuff like that, so you could explain it away in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
But the found footage thing was the last time we saw anything really like that was that big was Blair Witch.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I remember, sorry to interrupt both y'all, but I remember seeing Paranormal Activity. I'll be quick. I remember seeing Paranormal Activity in the cinema, and it was hilarious because the cinema, one, it was packed. It was like a Friday night. It was like nighttime. It was a late showing. And at the time, I was living in Falkirk. We had a big Cineworld in Falkirk. And the last scene where everything kind of hits the fan and goes to shit and there's lots of stuff coming at the camera, the found footage and stuff. This huge guy, this massive guy who was a few rows back just stood up and just went, "Fuck this, and just fucking stomped down the aisle, and we could all see the silhouette, and then we could just see the door open, the light, and then it shut again. He just walked out.
Yeah.
And then it was followed by another girl behind us again, just going. She was crying, and I was like, "This is a huge range of emotions we're experiencing in the cinema."
The thing that film did was the anticipation plus see the sound effects they used.
Yeah.
Made you so tense.
Yeah.
Because nothing happened for like
was
90% of
silent.
the film.
It was
The budget was so low, and it was done so well. There was no script, like really, really.
Yeah,
good.
the kitchen. That's all the guy did. He's like, "This is my house. Fix up my kitchen." That's where the budget went, and that was it. That's all
Yeah.
he needed.
See the grainy
great.
camera as well? The
Yeah.
grainy camera is better than the HD camera because
For
you
sure.
can see
For sure.
what's there? Is that a camera trick or is that is that a fucking demon? Or...
Yeah. And I think that's what because did we not watch a modern Paranormal Activity?
Yeah, we watched.
And
that
it was 2 HD. Like, so I totally get
What
that.
one
Like,
did you watch? I've seen them all, and I've.
it was the one where like
there's
the
a-
black mist. It was a Christmas one.
The brother came in and he was like, "Hey man, what's going on? I'm funny."
And there was like a hole in the little girl's like wall above
Yeah,
her
she was
bed.
going
Yeah,
through.
I've seen that one. That one's a bit weird. See when they
Yeah.
start bringing in like things that you're like, oh, that's obviously CGI.
It was very CGI.
There was a
With
one-
that one is like
The spin-off one, the marked ones. Have you seen that?
Was that the one that was in the VR?
No, it was the one where it was like in LA or something like that. It was like the Hispanic guys,
No,
and
I
like
don't remember that.
and like it's more into no, it's meant to be like a cult, like a devil worshipping cult.
Yeah.
Like the scariest part of that film was one of the boys went down into the basement, or like there was like a hole under this house where there was just like loads of sheets put up and you couldn't see through, and you just heard like the guy was like, "Hello, who's there?" And like you just heard these heavy footsteps, like something running towards you, but it was like imagine Jason running at full pelt, like just like footsteps that did not sound like they were human.
Yeah.
And like it was running, you couldn't see it, and you just heard like him go, "Ah!" and like the camera just cut off. You're like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
Like you never see what that is. I don't think I can't remember the end of the film, but like,
is that what you like about the Paranormal Activity? Just
I think it's
Reminds
the.
you of Jason.
yeah.
I think it's just like your expectations, the budget so much that you're like, okay, like you know it's not going to be anything too crazy, but they build it up slowly,
yeah,
and it's as you said, like if the tension gets more and more, and then because anything could go bah and someone could jump at the camera, and you went, but that doesn't feel earned. That's
weird-
just shouting at you, and you're like,
see the weird things you notice as well, like with like I think it was the second one where there were little girls.
That was scary.
Or was
Yeah.
that the third one? I can't remember.
that was
like,
a prequel one. That was
and like
She runs into something and she looks. That scared
and, like,
me.
And like
I wasn't
the
expecting
water,
that.
the water like came off or something. It was and like there was camera tricks played where you like there's something there, and she's talking to this thing, and like the end of that film was scary. I thought old women are terrifying.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Old women are scary as
Yeah.
fuck.
I don't feel like paranormal stuff is as scary as things that could be real.
yeah, like commitment.
Just I don't know, like see, if I'm like reading,
Depends what you're
fiction.
scared of.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, true.
I'm scared of things I can't fight.
Yeah, but no, but then like
I'm scared of things I can't reason with.
I feel like there's always
Yeah.
this wee thing in the back of your head, like it's obviously fiction. Like, I suppose it depends on what you believe in and stuff like that. But if there's, if it's something like an intruder trying to get in your house, or someone really fucked up wanting to do bad things to you, then that does happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that makes it a wee bit more real. And I think
Yeah.
that's a bit more.
I think my problem solving brain fixes that though. Like I always like see if you go there's someone trying to get into your house, you automatically have
It's
you go, like, where am I gonna
Duolingo.
go? It's Duolingo trying to get into it. Why haven't you done your lesson today?
No! Came in the back door again.
Like there seems to be a realistic defense against that. But if something doesn't go with the laws of physics or the laws of nature, you're like,
That's not fair.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but then I think, then it can't really exist.
But then if it does exist and it's tearing you apart, I'm like, nah, you're not real. You're not real with your, is that my organs?
I know,
This
I mean,
isn't real,
yeah,
this is
no,
CG.
No, I get it. I mean, maybe I'm just.
Yeah, no, maybe it's because you're a
It's like-
badass, man. That's
it's like seeing Paranormal
That's
Activity.
what
There's a
I'm saying.
scene where like she's talking to her husband and like you don't notice it at first, but there's two voices talking at the same time, and you're like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, I think it's things that you cannot rationalise, you can't explain.
I think like the scariest part of Paranormal Activity, the first one for me, was like if I was watching back on that footage, what would really like you're saying realistically freak me out the most, and it's the bit where they put the baby powder down,
Yeah,
and then
those
they
wee footsteps.
I was like, oh no, no, that would freak me the fuck out.
What about
No.
where she was sleeping and something dragged her out the bed?
Yeah.
And he's chasing her, pulling her back, and you're going, look up and see what the fuck's pulling her away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
Would you stay in the house? I'd be like, I'd just drive around all night. Like, it can't get me in the car.
you would never go back to that place. That's the thing also in horror films, like, you know, like the most stupid people ever. You know what I mean? That's like, get away from that. But like, what I'm
But the
saying
red is so good in this place.
The stupidest people in horror movies go, I'll go check.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's me. I'm
Way.
confident. I'm like, nobody's murdering me.
I
no."
got this. Yeah.
Just wrap yourself in baby powder. Like, let's go, boys.
But,
I was wrong.
say for example, right? There's a story. There's, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, right? But there's been tons of stories where someone's left their house, came back from the house, and then the change that they left on the table, just as they've thrown it down, they came back home and it's all neatly stacked, right?
Yeah.
I've heard this. Yeah.
And then, you know, they've noticed wee things like a couple of centimeters, a couple of inches of milk is gone. You know what I mean?
Someone living in the loft.
Yeah. It turns out where it's
That
you know,
scares me.
a person literally living in your house that you know.
Do you remember we watched that footage?
That's what I mean. It's like that.
She watches TV.
That to me is
She peed in the
scarier
sink.
than you know.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a ghost? Because
Not
probably
gonna
not
lie.
going to be a ghost. You know what I mean?
Sometimes when I come in and I'm the only one in, I sweep my house.
But, oh yeah, I do it all the time, mate.
I sweep the house. I'm like, I'm in the house. And I'm big. I'll
I'm
find
gonna fuck you up.
Fuck you, wet ghost.
that to me is scarier than possible like paranormal activity.
I get that for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
what if I'm trying to find it and it is a fucking ghost? I'm never finding it and then he's behind me.
That's because he's a ghost. What's he
Yeah,
going
but
to
they
do?
all say you know,
Ooh.
certain, you know.
What's your
you can't
scary
do stuff,
game?
you know.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to ask. Like, Q.
Resident Evil on Saturn.
Resident Evil on Saturn.
Do you know what? I was playing it with my cousin, right? And she was a year older than me, and this was like 96, 97.
She still is a year older
Sorry,
than you.
is your scary game not Ghost of Tsushima because there's bears in it?
My game was fucking bears in it.
Bear Simulator.
No, but like
It was unbearable.
do you know what the issue with Resident Evil is? We came fucking we came off the Super Nintendo, and I didn't get a PlayStation. I got a Saturn. Right, I was one of those kids, and I got Resident Evil. We'd never played a horror game before, and opening that fucking door. There's none of that.
I just want to see if I can get
Absolutely not. Mate, see if you look at that game now on the Saturn, it is a blur of brown and grey.
Yeah.
Like, and the music scared the shit out of us. My cousin just got up and turned it off. She was like, you can play that when I'm not here. Like, I'm not watching
Aww.
this. But like the dogs and that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I was always kind of afraid of dogs, so.
I mean, see, you're talking about music in games and stuff like that, but that's a massive part in movies as well. Like, you know, the build up.
Yeah.
You don't even notice it, but there's wee build up and wee build up.
Is that
And wee
part
build
of
up.
You would
Maybe
notice if you
bass.
take it away.
Yeah.
See the
Yeah.
bass in Paranormal Activity, it just kind of vibrates a wee bit.
Yeah.
Like, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's something
You
there,
feel-
lads. There's
It's
something
like
there.
something unnatural about this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd kill all the old women though. Like straight away, man. See if they were walking towards me, put her right in the face.
Well, I was thinking, you know, like our taxes and all that, but yeah, that too.
Break this up, Tom.
I would say one of the freakiest, scariest games I remember playing again was PT.
I never played PT.
No.
So I got a chance to play that, which was Playable Teaser. It was made by Hideo Kojima for the PlayStation 4, and it was Norman Reedus was supposed to be in the game, and it was going to be Silent Hill. It was going to be a reboot of that game.
Him from Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was going to be a whole thing with Hideo Kojima, Konami, big new Guillermo del Toro was supposed to be a part of it to make new creatures for Silent Hill. Mm-hmm. The whole deal fell apart, unfortunately.
Because they all fell out with Kojima.
They all fell out with Kojima.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. But the demo itself, it was all first person, and it was very freaky, and everything. It was all sound orientated, and you were stuck in a loop of a hallway, and it got really tense. There was like a fetus in the sink that was
Ew.
talking to you, and that. It was like, what the fuck is this?
Didn't you have to play this game like 7 times or something like
Well,
that.
no,
to
it's
get
fine
it.
because he took that fetus and put it in a pod and then walked all over the
He
place.
said Babby in Death Stranding.
Exactly.
Yeah. Another game that I really was like, oh fuck, this was hard. Whoa. Rough was Silent Hill. I remember playing that as well. Again with the fog and the unknownness with the dogs chasing after you, Pyramid Head.
Yeah.
And Until Dawn, I really enjoyed that. That was like a. But again, I would played that like with a group of friends, and I played it by myself. And I think playing it by myself was a lot more, I don't know, immersive because
you
got
can
to
make
the
it
choices.
quite personal to you, because we played that together for a bit, and I think at one point I did turn to you and I said, I think this is something that I need to play alone.
I think it was a great meld of cinematic and gameplay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dead Space 2 as well, I think was great for that. There's like I think I even said it on the stream, like the only time I've legit jumped at a jump scare was in Dead Space 2, and it was the worst jump scare you could possibly have. So you're just you're walking, I think it was on a stage somewhere, like where they just host like wee sort of acting stuff and that. You're like, okay, you're walking by this with props, and I just walked by this bit, and all of a sudden something just jumped out at me, and I dropped the control and went fuck, and all it was a happy sunshine. I was like, you fucking serious? I was like, dee, 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 dee. I was like, fucking got me good. I think Isaac even goes like that. Man, this is fucking bullshit. But yeah, like a few people have that have messaged in as well. Have said a few things what they feel are quite scary. Greeny's put up Resident Evil 1 and 2 with the original sort of soundtrack as well, quite freaky, especially with like Resi 2. That like do 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 do, that melody is quite,
I thought that was a Nokia ringtone there.
I mean, also,
Mabel also said the Scooby-Doo game that was on Nintendo DS. I don't understand what that means.
No, I've not played it. I can't say I played it.
So
Like,
sorry, Mabel.
I'm not gonna lie to you, there's some Scooby-Doo films that were pretty scary back in the day.
Yeah. The one with the Hex Girls. Oh, Hex Girls were good.
The one where they go to the bayou, because the American South, as scary as it is.
You don't want to see The Rescuers.
I love
That's
The
all
Rescuers.
filmed in a bayou. Like,
Well,
I didn't know
I like
what a
The
bayou was
Rescuers
until I
Down
saw that movie.
I think with Resident Evil, like, you also need to realise that for maybe our generation, it was kind of one of the first scary games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was a wee bit different, like we would play games like fucking Chip and Dale on the NES and stuff like that.
Bowser's Castle and Super Mario World.
That's about as scary as it got. Like, what is this big ass Bowser motherfucker? Like
Jack Black going,
fire. Whereas, then Resident
you
Evil
fucking
was
bitch.
pretty different,
It's when that zombie turned its head. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like, right, this is a game. I'll just stab this zombie. And Chris made this move.
Aye.
And then I was like,
Sure
why
I
is it
played
not dying?
Yeah, I played it like a couple of years ago or something like that, and then I tried it, and then I messaged you guys. I was like, I can't even kill the first zombie, and he's like, you're not meant to.
You might run away, aren't you? Like, the game is about running away from the zombies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, but
I want to stab them.
how do I stab zombies?
Another question we've got is from Mabel. Do you think Halloween is now more about sexy costumes and scary costumes? I.e. back in, like, when they used to do it in the olden days, rather than being sexy bunnies and sexy hues, like, what do you think it's like?
I mean, that's just the sign of the times, isn't it? Like, back in the day, it was frowned upon to be
Sexy Hugh?
scantily clad and all that, and like Hugh. Yeah. He had a lot of problems back in the day being so sexy all the time. So.
I know, are you not so cold?
Yeah.
Our listeners can't see what you're wearing, but...
Literally wearing a jumper and then a hoodie on top of it.
Oh, you tease.
Under that, No, it's definitely not. Like,
Halloween's changed in general. It
was all about
I don't know if
scaring
kids
people.
even celebrate the Halloween that much anymore.
Well, I just got a message from my brother saying that my wee nephew who dressed up as like a clown.
Who was how old?
Did he dress up
7?
as you?
no, but that's the thing though. It used to be like dress up to scare people. Now it's just dress up as something.
Yeah.
As long as you're dressed
It's
up as
cosplay,
a
no?
character.
So Anthony is like 6'7".
Is he a scary clown?
He was a scary clown.
Ah, sorry.
And my brother put on the chat today, I can't believe this, I got a call saying that Anthony had to take off his costume because he was scaring too many of the kids. So parents phoned up to say Anthony was like, I've got to explain to my kids that they're going to have nightmares because of the way Anthony's
How
dressed.
bullshit!
fucking point.
Exactly.
That's the
How
whole
bullshit
point.
is that? It's all
I
about
know.
being scary.
It made no sense.
There was always as kids, right? When I was in primary 3, I was a mummy. So mom had like bandages
the
and
mummy.
wrapped us up.
Were you the Yeti?
My mate was a vampire, and the other one was like werewolves and stuff like that. And then there was one kid who had the rich parents who had the Power Ranger costume.
Oh, what?
That's not scary.
Exactly. He
Exactly.
just wanted to dress up as a Power Ranger. We all wanted to dress up as a Power Ranger at one point, but Halloween's so
I still do.
scary.
I think Halloween's like, it seems to be more about like creativity. You got your cosplayers who can like really fucking do Halloween, and then there's like funny, so it's like comedy,
Yeah.
you know. So I would say it's not really either. I don't think anyone goes out with I don't think anyone who goes trick or treating these days goes out with the intention of going, I'm going to scare so many people.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really does that.
I think when you see the memes that go about as well, it's like Halloween costumes this year, Heath Ledger's Joker and Harley Quinn,
Oh,
you know,
And
or
then it's sexy Heath Ledger.
Yeah, and
Sexy
then-
bee.
yeah.
Sexy
then it was
beekeeper.
yeah, and then it's Tiger King. It was Tiger King and that, and then this
Yeah,
year it's all
yeah,
Squid
yeah.
Game ones, and you know it's
That's
like
the thing, like, you can tell, like, a month or two before October, this is what Halloween's going to be about. It's
Yeah.
Because it's, like, just popular.
Was it the Homer
sorry.
Simpson meme where he's in the bar surrounded by...
Yeah,
That's every
yeah,
Halloween we get that. It was Harley Quinn a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's Joe Exotic, but we didn't get Halloween last
we didn't
year.
get Halloween last year.
And it's Squid Game this year.
Yeah. Because again, it's easy. It's just like a pink suit with a face.
There was one year we did go up to Glasgow. You were there. I don't know if you were there, Dom, right? But we tried to get in everywhere and we couldn't get in.
Yeah.
But we were just walking around. I was dressed as a pimp. My pimp outfit, hat, cane.
Had his normal clothes on.
Well, I don't know what I can't remember what you were.
No, I can't tell you.
But Gareth was a surgeon with blood all up him, and we lost him at one point. Right, he fucked off, went missing somewhere, and we were like walking about trying to find someone that would let us in because we never fucking bought tickets for anywhere. We fucked it, and then this guy, just drunk guy, came up to me, he just grabbed me. He's like, "There's a surgeon looking for you." So obviously Gareth's walking about going, "Has anyone seen a pimp?"
That's what I love about Halloween. See when like people get into character like that, I just think is wonderful.
Oh, I had
really
to
do.
walk down. I was like,
Yeah.
I miss that pimp cane.
Well, thanks very much for the questions, guys. But Hamish, you want to say something?
I remember one time I went to Duke Nukem for Halloween.
Oh, what?
And I had like spiky hair, I like spray painted it blonde, had a red tank top with the holsters, I had the guns and everything in it. Because I remember, like, obviously no parents knew who the fuck I was at the time because it was a video game. But I remember, like, I was running through, like, Knoxville Square and one of the guns fell out of my holster
Oh, no.
and it broke. It was my dad's guns and I was like, oh fuck.
Your dad had a lot of replica guns as well, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much, guys, for the questions and that. And I think that's us for tonight, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, Hugh, for fuck's sake, blown your load already.
Shot my boat, mate.
That's what he does.
Yeah.